It's time to take another look at the most controversial RC truck of the year. This is the new MJX Hyper GO 10208. Now on the right we have the original version 1. This is the truck that was sent out to all the YouTube channels to review. And on the left we have the enhanced version, the version 1.1. Now we won't be getting a version 2 until later on in the year, potentially early 2025. But if you order one now, this is the one you're going to be getting. And this thing has many names. It's been called the 1.1, the Plus and the Enhanced. Now initial impressions, well, it looks exactly the same. It doesn't look like anything's been changed on the outside. Everything looks identical. Now I'm in the MJX 10208 Facebook group, and it's been very interesting to see some of the posts. Now Jason, one of the users on the Facebook group, has actually reached out to Makerfire, I think it is, to try and get a list of what's actually been changed on the version 1.1. Now one of the really important things that I've noticed on that list is they've updated this latch system here, which actually keeps the body in place. Now they have also said that they've made everything tighter and it drives much better. And of course I'm going to run it today very briefly just to see if it's any different compared to this. Now we already know of some of the issues on the version 1 that we want to see changed on the version 2. Firstly, it's not wide enough. Secondly, we don't get a huge amount of travel with the included shocks. There needs to be something in place where you can actually lock this latch system, although they have said they've made it tighter on the version 1.1, but we'll see later. These straps need to be much longer, and I think they're probably the main things. Now, if you don't want to wait for the version 2, is there anything that can be done to make this a little bit better out the box? Now if we take a look over on the Facebook group once again, Jason's actually made some adjustments to his version 1. He's used some hub extenders to actually make it wider. He's also fitted some bigger wheels and tyres, and of course some longer straps. And if you look at his upgraded version next to a stock one, well, you can see there's quite a big difference. And I think the truck on the left is pretty much what we're all hoping for when it comes to the version 2. Now there has been some information flying around that there may be some metal upgrades coming for this as well. I'll stick a photo on the screen now. This is what the truck looks like with all of the metal upgrades fitted. I'm not a massive fan of metal upgrades. I think if you're looking for a durable truck, you're much better off leaving it with all of the plastic components. Plastic is flexible compared to metal, which likes to bend. I think metal components on an RC car are okay, depending on what you're upgrading, but doing a full metal conversion like what you see on the screen, I don't think it'd be a good idea for this truck. What do you think of metal upgrades? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Now it really annoys me actually that this truck hasn't really been given a fair chance. A couple of individuals decided to bring it down as soon as the video started to come out. I think that was unnecessary because as it stands, it's still a really good truck. And when you look at some of the other options out there in this price range, they really can't compete. Now I'm in the UK, so I don't know what trucks will be available in your country, but I wanted to do a quick search to see what was available in this price range. Now Serious RC will be selling this truck for $224.99. Of course that's here in the UK. I've actually seen some prices even cheaper than that across the world. Now doing a very quick search here in the UK in this price range, there's only one truck that comes up, and that's the FTX Ram Raider. Now that truck is 2 to 3S ready. Of course, being an FTX, parts are fairly cheap and readily available, but it's still not as powerful as this MJX. And spares will not be an issue for the MJX because of course Serious RC are also going to stock all of the parts. So I think what we've worked out is there really isn't anything out there in this price range that is as good as this truck. But hang on a minute, you may be thinking, what about the Relalo Omni Terminator? Now that truck is fantastic, but the only thing letting it down is its size. If Relalo made it a proper 1/10 scale truck, I think it would have actually been better than this MJX. And that's because Relalo's build quality is so much better. Now we all thought it was going to be a proper 1/10. I really can't understand why they made it smaller and then they try and sell it as a mini 1/10. So yeah, when you look at it, there really isn't a lot out there that can compete with the 10208 when it comes to looks and performance and durability. For the money, it's a very good truck. Right, I've done a lot of talking so far. Let's see if there's any actual changes that have been made to the version 1.1. Let's get both of the bodies off. It doesn't look like that latch system's been changed in any way. Now they have said they've made this latch a little bit tighter. Now on the version 1, it actually feels quite snug. I haven't tightened that up. On the version 1.1 or the Plus, let's have a look. Now that actually feels a lot looser. And you can see it's not as much of a struggle to open. I don't think they've actually done anything to that. Now, they have also said they've made everything tighter on this. They've adjusted all of the excessive play. I have spent some time actually taking a closer look at the version 1, and there wasn't any components where I thought to myself, there's far too much play that needs to be adjusted. Everything felt okay on this, and everything feels identical to this. And you know what? I actually think this is exactly the same as that. Right, I think the best thing to do is to actually drive them. Let me stick a battery in the old one first. I'll give it a quick rip around just to get it into my mind how it actually feels to drive. And then I'll do the same with this, and I'll let you know if there's any noticeable difference. So this is the version 1 with a 3S pack inside it. Just want to remind myself how this feels to drive around. Even though it's not very wide, it's still a very stable truck. Yeah, they do need to make it wider, and cornering doesn't feel the best. But look, this is still a very decent truck, and it does annoy me that some people have brought it down because there really was no need. For the price, it's still a really good option. Now yes, this truck does need to be wider, but it still handles very well for what it is. I think that version 2, when it eventually comes out, will be a good upgrade over the version 1. Right, let's get the battery in the 1.1. Let's see if it feels any different. I really don't think it will. Right, so this is the 1.1. Does this feel any different to the version 1, which MJX sent out to us to review? Absolutely not. It feels exactly the same. And I kind of expected that. I didn't think there was going to be any major changes. Yeah, this is the version you're going to be receiving if you actually choose to buy one of these. I can finally clear up that this is exactly the same as the one I got. Handles exactly the same, feels exactly the same, sounds exactly the same. There's really no major changes on this. So yeah, there's not really a lot more I can say about this. I think it's exactly the same as the version 1. Now, if you enjoyed that very quick 3S test, I'll stick some footage on the screen now showing you how fast it actually went. So let's hit stop and read. 34 miles per hour right out the box on 3S. And here's a quick look at how fast it went on 4S. Full throttle again. Right, let's bring it back. Let's see how it's done. Are we going to see 50 plus, which if we do, is an incredible speed. I actually think we're going to see mid 40s. So let's hit stop and read. 47 miles per hour out the box, stock gearing on 4S. So actually a very good speed, and with some changes, these trucks have potential. Off-road performance was also really good. Here's some footage of that. I think if it did have wider arms, it would be even more stable. So maybe we'll see that in the next version. This truck is super cool. That's full throttle. Oh, it's a beast. There are so many companies out there who are in trouble now that this thing has been released. And so far it's turning out to be a lot of fun. Well, that body seems to be holding up. It hasn't come off yet, although I think if I was at a skate park or I was bashing this thing really hard, I think it would have come off by now. What a beast. Oh, almost a double. So the Hyper GO 10208, one of the most controversial releases of the year, is still highly controversial because so many people are going to say, don't buy this, wait for the version 2. I think that's really bad advice, and if you're looking for something in this price range, I don't think there's a lot out there that can beat this. So I think what we've established on today's video is this is exactly the same as that. Now my thoughts are, this is actually the 1.1, the version they sent out to all the creators. I actually think this was the 1.1. And I think the version that all of the customers were going to get would be a slightly watered down version of this. So let me know in the comments what you make of the version 1.1. Are you going to buy one of these, or are you going to wait for the version 2? Cheers for watching. See you on the next one. Take care. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see the full review that I did of this truck, click the top video now, or click the bottom video to check out the best Cheap RC Truckie of the Year.